Hello, my name is Lauren and welcome to my channel Lauren's Lines. It's a channel that I just about gave up on, but YouTube algorithms or something, people have been stumbling across it, so welcome to all new subscribers. It's basically up to you that I've decided to revive it, so I figured better late than never. We'll pick up where we last left off. My last sketchbook was just before this one, and this one is August to October 2018, so it has been a little while. It is a Sea White of Brighton sketchbook. I liked it because of the size and because it was £4.65. But really I ultimately didn't like the paper that much. But yeah, we'll get into it. So I wanted to work on more pen and ink in this sketchbook, so I was testing out all the different mark makings I could do. I do think contour lines is my favorite, but also the stippling was a lot of fun. And I'm just testing out watercolor, seeing what it's like. I think this is when I sort of realized that water and this paper didn't mix as well as I'd hoped. But also through this sketchbook I decided that I wanted to try these daily paintings. So quick, really quick paintings in gouache done from something in life. So I was looking at something, this was my jar of paintbrushes, it's got coins in the bottom, and yeah, I think it turned out alright. And this was just a quick sketch I did while waiting for the Edinburgh tattoo to start. So that's the castle, and we were in a very high up seat, which is quite good. The tattoo was great. This was a painting done, and we had a trip through the Highlands somewhere. I can't exactly remember where we were staying, but we went for a walk at dusk, and one of the street lights was glowing this beautiful yellow light onto the field and illuminating the sheep that were there. They were wondering what we were doing. Yeah, and then just some quick sheep studies, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Yeah. This one's another one in gouache. This is a sunset outside my window where I used to live in Leith. These clouds were just so fun to paint that I kind of went a bit overboard, but that's alright. Mark making in pen. This one's probably my favourite piece in this sketchbook, of the telephone wires on the same walk at dusk. Yeah, and I don't know why I really like telephone wires, but I really enjoyed it, and I was really happy with how this painting turned out. The paper didn't like the water though, and it kind of bubbled, but where it was a bit more opaque, it was okay. And then there's lots of these little pencil doodles. I was working along with a Newcastle Uni natural history illustration course. They put up there like a free introductory course, so I was working through that, so that's what a lot of this will be. As is this, I have you draw a shell and I kind of walk you through the steps, and then obviously rule of thirds composition wise. You can see the paper really didn't like the watercolor there, it wouldn't pick up. This one is another trip to the Highlands. I'm not sure what this bridge is called. I've got Bridge of Atholl in my head, but I don't know if that's right. It's probably wrong. It's really steep. You drive over it and it's you're driving up and you can't see where you're going, and you come back over it. Yeah, but that was really lovely. And this is more gestures for character from that same course. This is another one of those daily paintings. Obviously I didn't do them daily. But yeah, this is Cedric, my cactus, and I loved him, but now my roommate has him. And some more of that course. Badges, my all-time favorite. I really loved how like skinny the skeleton is underneath all that floof. I think they're really gorgeous. I actually got the chance to go up to up near Aviemore in Scotland. They have a wildlife hide where you can see badgers in real life at night. They come out. That's very cute. They're beautiful. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with this painting. I liked the idea. I was working from a photo that I took while on a walk in the Pentlands, and I like the colours, and I kind of like the composition and the idea of it with the flowers in the front and the landscape in the back, but execution wise was not happy with it. This was a lot of fun. Hairy balls, which I thought, yeah, that was just a lot of fun. Another daily painting. This one's some shallots that we had growing in a tin can. I think drawing the metallic is tricky but really fun, and I like how it turned out. That's just some notes. Oof. This one was trying to plan out a color study and thumbnails for a piece that I never made because I thought the color study was so awful that I just scratched it. I do love this one though. This is an osprey. My favorite, if you've watched my other sketchbook videos, they'll pop up quite frequently. They're my favorite bird. I think they're so lovely. They've got these beautiful golden eyes and they catch fish, and you see them nesting up in Scotland sometimes and all sorts of places around the world. Yeah, I think they're just fantastic birds. Broccoli. I think I would have delayed the preparation of our dinner one night to draw this, or paint this, sorry. Another one of those quick ones. And this one brings back a lot of memories because when I did this, I was living in Leith in Edinburgh, and now I'm back in Australia filming this. But I just loved looking out at the tops of the roofs, the chimneys, and all these funny things, the seagulls, and yeah, I really miss this view. There's our kettle at breakfast before work. So definitely a very quick one since I'm always in a rush before work. This is a Chinese restaurant in Rotterdam. These you'll see a few of these stuck in the sketchbook that they were in kind of fell apart, so they're stuck in here for safekeeping. Then while I was living in Edinburgh, I was part of the Edinburgh Urban Sketches group, and this day we went to Princess Street Gardens because it was a beautiful sunny day, so we did the castle, and there's lots of people in these deck chairs sitting out in the sun enjoying it. It's quite rare in Scotland, so you've got to soak it up. And they have a beautiful fountain there that they've just repainted, and it's just been unveiled. So instead of doing the whole big complicated fountain, it's got lots of statues on it, and it's very intricate and beautiful. I just focused on just this one lady, and I was happy with how she turned out. Just a little plant that was growing in a wall across from where we live. It's quite cute. Capsicum. I remember really struggling painting this capsicum, but I actually like how it turned out now, so that's good. More pen and ink. This little caricature is of me and my now ex-boyfriend, although wasn't at the time, inspired by this quote that he said to me, and this reads, "How my love sees me, nothing but eyebrows, a tiny body, and really long legs," because I have quite thick eyebrows, and I just bought these jeans, which are big mum jeans, really high-waisted, and accentuate that I've got a short torso. And my comeback to him was like, well, you're just a big lot of hair with legs. And I still really like this, and we get along fine, so I'm okay with this. Here is a tree that we saw out our window from our apartment in Leith. So this would be the windowsill, and I'm sitting right in the window painting it, and I just started to notice the leaves changing color, and so I thought I'd document that, and I've got a few more of them as it changed over autumn. Yeah, that's funny. This is just a tree growing in a car park, and you know the chimney tops that I drew before are not your most beautiful chimney tops, but I just loved living in that apartment. I loved looking out the windows, and it was always so interesting to me. This was my very last YouTube video before I took a really long break, and this would be the first one back. This is a juvenile moorhen. It's not got the yellow and red beak yet, but he did have yellow legs. And I remember seeing him and being like, what is that bird? I don't know what that is. I've never seen one like that. Yeah, and there's just some sketches of what he looked like. Here I was taking, on YouTube, John Muir-Laws puts up lots of amazing videos, and he's a fantastic guy. I was really blessed to be able to meet him this year. So this is his flower anatomy video, so I was taking the notes. I find it's a lot more helpful to jot down and copy the slides and get them into my sketchbook, and it really cements it in your brain a little bit more than just watching it and then letting it sieve out. And then it's very faint. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's in pink pencil. These are some pink flowers from the botanical gardens that I saw. And then over here is back to that natural history course. This was some of the work that I did for that one. Yeah. So lots of plants at this time. There's another one of those daily paintings, which we're going to skip right over. It was of my reflection in the window, and I hated it. It's very hard, but I love these ones. I feel like every time I do something I hate, I have to do something I really love the next page, and I really love bears. I just think they're so beautiful, they're so expressive, they're just gorgeous. I was lucky this year I got the chance to see bears in the wild in Romania, and that was phenomenal. You'll have to stick around if you want to see more bears. Here again, I was really happy with how this one turned out. Just the lines and the shading. Just, when you put a mark down and you're really happy with it, and you're like, oh, yes, well done me. Pat myself on the back, I'm happy with that. Which, if you do drawing, you know that doesn't happen all the time. Here's a good example. Here's another one of those daily paintings, and this one says 11 p.m. before bed, and I think you can tell it was of our toothbrushes, and yeah, not ideal. But again, every time I do something I don't like, I draw something I love, and I love Superman. This one's Christopher Reeve's Superman, and he's just beautiful. I love Superman. Ooh. Here we go. I think this was practicing nudes and drapery. A grey heron. We used to always get these on the water of Leith, right near where I lived. And beautiful birds. They hold very still. This one in flight, which is always very impressive. A huge wingspan. And this one I did on my birthday. The golden eagle taxidermy from Tomatul Museum / Information Center. It was a teeny tiny museum inside the information center, and they had this beautiful golden eagle taxidermied, unfortunately. But when else are you going to see one that up close and holding that still? So I did a quick drawing while my partner sussed out where we're going to go for a walk. And here's a bull on the side of the road at Bridge of Garin. Yeah, I was happy with this one. It's probably where I spent the longest on it. Another painting. This is from the same trip. It's probably just down the road from where we were. Yeah, we went for a walk through, and there's this big storm rolling in, and we got in just before the rain. Oh, it took me ages to finish this off because I wasn't happy with the cows. And I don't know if I'm still happy with the cows. I think I like this painting if you chop it off from there. I really like that, but it's got the cows on it. They actually don't look as bad in camera as they do in real life. I don't know if I like them. Anyway, here's that same tree from my window. Yeah, so you can see it's not just red, it's got yellow in there as well, and yeah, I think it's really fascinating to watch the colours change and to take notice of it changing. So this is the 19th, and the last one was on the 10th, so this is only 9 days later. It's a quick turnaround. Some little mushrooms we saw on a walk through somewhere. This is before I started documenting where I see things. And then this is a funny one. We found these feathers while on a walk in the Highlands, and we were following the trail like good hikers, and all of a sudden the trail just got smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it eventually just disappeared, and we were right like midway up a hill covered in heather and all sorts of things, and we're just like, oh, we'll just get to the top of the hill and then we'll be able to see the track. Like maybe it's just overgrown a bit, maybe it's not maintained. So we kept walking, get to the top, and there's a fence and we can't go that way, and all this stuff, and it starts to rain, and we're in the middle of the heather with no track, and we don't know where we are. We've come too far to go back the way we came, so like, oh, we'll just head down the hill, we can kind of see the road. And it was a bit of a disaster, but I found these feathers while we were up there. This one's a magpie feather. I don't know if you can see the iridescence on this side. Probably not. No, I don't think so. And this one is quite interesting. It's a woodcock feather, which is a game bird that you get here in Scotland. It's not native, but introduced for shooting, which is a shame, but nice little feathers. They've got a cool pattern on them. And this one. So it was a really good walk because I found this feather, which is my pride and joy. It's an osprey feather. And the reason I know this is there's a great website. It's an American Feather Index, I think, is something like that. Obviously, American and the UK have very similar birds, so often if you can find a feather on there, then it would match up with the birds in the UK. They don't quite have the same thing for British birds. But yeah, it's an osprey feather, and it's really interesting. It's really fluffy. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's really fluffy, whereas these ones are very smooth. Like, you know how usually when you find a feather, it's smooth, but this one has got lots of little hairs on it. I don't know if you can see. Ooh, kind of. But yeah, it's very soft and it's very fluffy, and I don't know if that's because they go into the water Maybe that helps it dry, I'm not sure, but every time I feel like I'm petting an osprey. I went and saw the Rembrandt exhibition and tried to do a little study, which turned out awfully. It's just some notes and a postcard. Here's that tree again, and this is probably a month later than the very first one. I'm not too sure how long it is from the second one. I'd have to work that out, but this one's on the 8th of the next month, 8th of October. Oh no, that was out of focus. I wonder how long it's been out of focus for. But yeah, it's mostly yellow. We've got some sticks that are bare and it's really starting to change. I think this might be the last one I did of it. And here we have some scribbling, working out. This is for my attempt at Inktober. I wasn't going to do the whole month, but I just wanted to do something. So this one was a newsstand. This isn't actually the first one I did. I think they're in here. They're just loose. Oh yeah. Here we go. So this was the very first one I did. They're all not in order. And this is how it turned out. I did it in Posca marker, and it was inspired by, well, the theme was Metropolis. So the city that Superman's in. I was clearly having a phase at the time. I've got my little dashy Superman, got the Daily Planet. And then I threw in this one, which is based off Centrepoint Tower here in Sydney, because in Sydney this is where they filmed Superman Returns, which is a bit of a cringy Superman movie, but they all are, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's what this one's based off. And then this one is a newsstand turned into this piece. And he's really bored, and I just had a lot of fun looking up all of the fictional newspapers and putting them in, like Action Bulletin News and the Daily Planet and Central City Citizen, Gotham Gazette, and all that kind of stuff. I had a lot of fun. This one was also an Inktober planning out, and then that's how that one turned out there. I was really happy with this one. I thought it looked cool. This is based off an image of New York, I think, but kind of tweaked it so that the buildings matched up with, so this building is supposed to match with this one. Yeah. And then this was some work for another one that I never did. What a shame. And then here is a skyline from Rotterdam. Again, these are stuck in. Another one from Rotterdam, another one from Rotterdam, cranes. And this one I did on a train somewhere. I can't remember where I was going, maybe down south. Yeah. And this is a little vase of flowers that was on my table while I had lunch one day. Yeah, and that's the very last page. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed showing it to you, and I've got a whole bunch more sketchbooks to show. So I don't know if I'll be doing any more speed painting videos because they're boring to watch and boring to make, but I love watching sketchbook videos, sketchbook tours. So I think I'll make some more because if I like watching them, hopefully other people do too. Yeah, so there we are. There's my sketchbook. So thank you for watching, and if you liked this, please remember to like and subscribe. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.